Think about last summer. Now think about the summer you were 9. Hold them both in your head at the same time. They contained the same number of days, the same number of hours measured by the same clock, on the same planet. And yet one of them is a country you once lived in, with weather and smells and afternoons that went on forever. And the other one is a thing that seems to have happened to someone else, briefly, while you were busy. That gap is not nostalgia. It has been measured. In 2005, two researchers at Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich, Mark Wittmann and Sandra Leinhoff, put a single question to roughly 500 people between the ages of 14 and 94. How fast did the past 10 years pass for you? The answers lined up with age. The older you were, the faster the decade had gone. The effect has since been found again in the Netherlands, in New Zealand, in Japan, in French-speaking Canada. Whatever this is, it is not a quirk of one country or one generation. So, the strange thing is real. Your life is accelerating. The question is, what is doing it? There is an answer you have probably already heard, and it is beautiful. It was written down in 1877 by a French philosopher named Paul Janet. A year, he pointed out, is not a fixed quantity. It is a fraction. To a 5-year-old, 1 year is a fifth of everything that has ever happened. To a 50-year-old, that same year is 1/50th. The ruler you measure time with is your own life, and the ruler keeps getting longer, so every year comes out smaller than the last. It is elegant, it is mathematical. It matches exactly what you feel, and it makes a prediction. If time is a fraction of your life, then everything should be shrinking. Not just your decades, your years, your months. Last Tuesday, all of it should be quietly compressing at the same rate because all of it is being divided by the same growing number. So researchers asked, not just about the last 10 years, but about the last year, the last month, the last week. Nothing, no age effect at all. A 20-year-old and a 70-year-old report the last week passing at almost exactly the same speed. The last month, the same. The last year, the same. The acceleration only appears when you ask about the last 3 years, the last 5, the last 10. It lives in the long view and nowhere else. Sit with how odd that is. Time is not speeding up while you're in it. Tuesday is fine. Tuesday is the same Tuesday it has always been. It is only when you turn around and look at 10 years that they collapse. Which means the thing that is speeding up is not your experience. It is your record of it. That reframes everything, and it pointed at an obvious suspect. Memory. As a child, everything was new, and new things get written down. The first day of school, the first time the ocean, the first time a friend betrayed you. Psychologists have known for decades that people recall more from roughly 15 to 30 than from any other stretch of life. And then adulthood arrives, and the years start to look like each other. Same route to work, same faces, same Tuesday. Fewer things worth recording, so a thinner file, so a decade that reads like a paragraph. Fewer memories, faster time. It fits so well it feels finished. In 2026, a team led by Alice Tegel, working with Mark Wittmann, decided to actually test it. 120 people, aged 20 to 91, in Italy and in German-speaking Europe. Each one was asked how fast the past 10 years had gone. Then each one was given 90 seconds to name every event they could remember from those 10 years and to rate each memory for how vivid it was and how much it mattered. If the theory is right, this is the easiest prediction in the world. The people who recall fewer events should be the people for whom time flew. There was no relationship. None. The number of memories a person could summon had nothing to do with how fast their decade felt. And then the result turned strange. The older participants did not report faint, washed-out memories. They rated their recollections as more vivid than the young did, more significant, more meaningful. The people whose decade had vanished the fastest were carrying the richest memories of it. So what did line up? One thing. Not what they could remember about their lives, but something that looks almost unrelated. Each person was read a short list of ordinary words and asked to recall them a few minutes later. A dry little test, nothing personal in it, measuring one narrow ability. How well you can still lay down something new. That was the number that tracked. The weaker a person's ability to record new information, the faster their last 10 years had gone. Read that again because the difference is everything. It is not how much you have, it is how much you are still writing. Your brain, it seems, does not count up its memories to decide how long a decade was. It senses how much recording happened, and when it looks back and finds less written than it expected, it does not conclude that less was recorded. It concludes that less time passed, which finally explains the part that made no sense. Why 10 years and not one? Because over a single year, the shortfall is too small to notice. A slightly thinner file is invisible, but 10 years is a quarter of a 40-year-old's whole life, and the gap between what should be there and what is there becomes impossible to miss. Paul Janet was right about the fraction. He was just measuring the wrong thing. The proportion that matters is not the year against your life. It is the missing recording against everything you have ever recorded. Two things worth keeping honest. The effect is real and repeatedly found, but it is modest, not dramatic. And the researchers themselves raise an uncomfortable possibility. Everyone already believes time speeds up with age, so when you ask people, some of them may simply be agreeing with the story they were handed long ago. Even so, the shape of the thing holds. And it leaves a question with teeth in it. If the speed of your life is really the sound of your own brain recording, and the recording is thinning out, then the years are not going anywhere. They are being lived at full length and filed as almost nothing. So how much of the last 10 years is actually in there? And what does it mean that a decade can be experienced completely, in full, in real time, and still leave you almost nothing to show for it? Go back to those 2 summers. The one when you were 9 did not last longer. It never did. It was 3 months, the same as the last one. And every minute of it went by at exactly the same speed as every minute of this year. It was just written down. That is the whole difference between a summer that lasts forever and a summer that never happened. Not the time, the transcription. And somewhere in the routine of a normal adult life, quietly, without ever announcing it, the pen started lifting off the page. If this broke something in your brain, there's more where that came from.